everybody, it's Amber again, and today we're going to be doing a church renovation build. So I had this idea to do, it's an old abandoned church, and somebody came in and renovated it and made it their home. So it's kind of styled to, there's a church that my parents go to, and the heater just kicked on. I hope y'all can't hear that. And it's kind of like this old, I think it was built in 1856 or something, or I don't know, it's really, really old. And this is the general shape of it, and the general style of it has a lot of stained glass windows. And I thought it would be really cool. I've always wanted to renovate an old church and live in it. I thought that would just be super cool. So I decided to do a little build out of it. It's not my favorite thing I've ever done, but I do still really like it. I like the aesthetic of it, but I wish I would have done the interior a little bit different. Maybe it's just kind of challenging because it's not super big and I don't have a huge lot. So this lot is in Windenburg. I guess so. It was originally called Mid Nowhere, and it's the little lot on the island that's just kind of surrounded by trees, which I thought was perfect because if it's an old church and it's abandoned, it wouldn't just be around the corner from Sally's house or whatever, I don't know, whatever. It would be in the middle of nowhere. So that's why I picked this lot. And it's not a very big lot. I don't know the dimensions, but there wasn't a lot of room for me to build it. So I would have liked to build it maybe a little bit bigger, but it's still a good size. It fits everything I needed to. It's maybe just a little bit cramped, a little bit. And of course, I wanted to do these really big stained glass windows because what old church doesn't have really big stained glass windows? And these ones were perfect. And I also really like that little detail added on the front part that came, I think, with Get Together. It's that Windenburg style thing, window, I guess. I don't really know what it is. But yeah, so I played around with whatever windows I was going to put in the front. And I couldn't really find any that I really liked besides the one that I already used for the back. So in my mind, the back of the church is always the altar, and that's where they have the cross and everything. And I wanted it to be this grand area that had these really nice windows, but I ended up just putting the windows everywhere anyway. So I don't know, I guess you can still get that feel from it, but there wasn't really much that I could do with that. So I just kind of went with it. And I did realize later on that the colors on the windows on the rest of the church are different than the ones on the front. So I do change that. So that's not going to be messed up later on. But yeah, so just some simple landscaping here. I made it feel nice and cozy. I didn't think there would be, much. I thought about doing a little playground area because I thought maybe the church would have a playground for kids. Then I was like, no, because there wasn't a whole lot of room. And also, I don't really know if an older church would have something like that. Definitely more modern church incorporate that because they usually have kids church or just a little playground for them to play, but not so much these older style ones. Yeah, so getting into the interior, like I said, I wanted to have that back area be, what is the word? I wanted it to stand out from the rest of the interior. So I didn't want to close it off or anything. I wanted it to all be open. And I was trying to figure out where I would put a bathroom. The church that my parents go to doesn't even have a bathroom attached to it. You have to go to, there's a chapel and you have to go to the bathroom there. So to me, it was an add-on. So whoever would renovate this place would have to add on an actual bathroom because there wouldn't be one there. So that's why this is kind of off to the side like that. But I felt it went pretty well. It didn't look like it stood out too much to me. So I thought that was fine. And then I kept this plaster that was on the outside throughout the entire building. So I like the look of it, and it made it feel more authentic. See, there's me fixing the windows that I messed up. But anyway, yeah, so the wall height, I believe it is tall. So it will look very grandiose whenever you walk inside, except the fact that I really wanted to do a canopy, but I couldn't have done that without adding a second floor, and the walls would have just been outrageously tall. Like, it would have been too big of a church to be like an older style church, because they didn't have like these massive churches like they do today. You know what I mean? Like, it was usually like just a little building that had enough pews for whoever was going there. Like, they weren't massive. And the one that my parents go to does have a balcony, but like I said, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have fixed it the way I wanted it without having built a second floor, and it would have just looked kind of silly. And I didn't even think about it until I was like editing this video, and I was like, oh man, I should have done that, because that would have looked really cool. But I don't think it would have worked anyway. So, oh well, it'll be fine. So bathroom, I kept pretty simple. I wanted the interior of this build I didn't want it to be too modern or too updated. I wanted them to be able to keep the older style that it was, that the church was. And so I added a few little modern things here and there, like the fixtures maybe in the appliances, but as far as most of the furniture is concerned, it is pretty, I don't want to say dated, but it's to the time period. Yeah, and so here I played around with boxing off this back area, and then I decided to just go ahead and make it a really big dining area, because that felt right to me. But what I wish I would have done is added a piano back here, because for sure this church would have had like an old organ or something, and it would have been really cool if they kept it and they had it in the house. So I don't know, I didn't think about it until the end, and then I was like, well, there just wasn't any room for me to put it, so maybe I should have made this dining area a little bit smaller and then had a piano off to the side. It would have been really nice. But that's an idea for you if you decide to download it and play with it. You can add a piano. You can totally just delete everything inside and start over if you want. But this is up on the gallery already. I have already uploaded it. You can just search Church Reno, I think is what I called it. I will link it down below if you can't find it. And then you can download it if you would like. But yeah, so pretty simple interior. I kind of kept it with these purpley reddish tones because, that felt pretty cozy to me. I would think that this building would be kind of drafty and maybe even a little bit scary, like living in an old abandoned church. Like, that seems a bit weird to me, right? So I wanted to keep it pretty cozy and pretty tight-knit. So moving on to the kitchen. The kitchen is a bit tight. I mean, it has enough room. It definitely has enough room. There's more room in this kitchen than there is in my apartment kitchen. So there's that. But it's definitely a little bit smaller than maybe you would like. But again, like I said, this is a renovation build. So it's not really, you have to work with what you have, right? And so it is a bit tight, but there's everything you need in it. And there's even a little island with some bar stools if you don't feel like sitting at the giant freaking dining table over there. But yeah. So just adding a few little knickknacks here and there. I just kind of, what I do is I place everything that I want, and then I go in and I have to, we have to move the counters and everything, and it's frustrating. And it's like, but at least we have that option. At least we can do that, At least we're able to place things kind of where we want them. And then I did this with the island, and then I realized, okay, I want to put my tea kettle on the island, so I had to go back and do it again. But it all worked out just fine. But yeah, pretty simple kitchen. Like I said, it looks traditional enough, but it does have the nice modern appliances in it. And then moving on, I was toying with the idea of walling off the bedroom, but again, I did want to keep it open. Like I said, I don't really think they would go in and build a bunch of walls, just because that would be a lot of work to have to go in and build walls, especially these really, really tall walls. So I don't know. I left it all nice and open, as you will see. Just a little cozy living area right here. And I do add a TV across the way. One thing I did realize I don't have is a bookshelf. So you might want to go in and add one of those later on. But, there's not a whole lot of room in here. I guess you could fit one somewhere. You could fit like a wall bookshelf somewhere. But yeah, so I added the TV, so it does kind of block off the bedroom area. I did end up just doing the half walls because that felt like secluded enough, but it's still nice and open. And I felt like half walls in a renovation sense would be a lot easier to do than full on, like these really high walls, right? And I really like that picture because in my mind, I felt like it would be a picture of what the church used to look like. You know what I mean? Like I just have that kind of thought. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, so here I am changing out the light fixtures, making them more to the style. And then I was like, okay, where am I going to put this dresser? Because I definitely need like a dresser, right? Because it wouldn't make sense not to have one. So I ended up having to move that door, and I do rearrange the stuff in the bathroom to kind of go with that. But yeah, so bedroom, pretty tight, pretty cozy. I definitely wouldn't have more than 2 Sims in this build. I'm thinking like an older couple. Like an older couple, they retired, they decided to invest in this property, and then they renovated it and they made it their own. You know, something like that. Like that feels right. But so it is pretty small, and there's really not a lot of room for anything else. So I would definitely just have like 2 Sims in here probably. But yeah, so that is it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have questions or any comments, leave them down below. If you want to see more from me, then please subscribe. I'm planning on doing like Harry Potter themed builds soon. Like I really want to do them in the next few days, and I don't want to do like Hogwarts, but I'm thinking about doing like Hogsmeade would be really cool. Hagrid's Hut, number 4 Privet Drive, and I think I want to do like Gryffindor Common Room at Christmas. I think that would be super fun. So if you're a Harry Potter nerd like I am, stick around. Those will be up soon for you to watch. But other than that, thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye.